Okay, guys, I'm going to show you how you can actually make a boat like this for today using just the little tools that are inside Google Slides. Everyone's going to be assigned a slide, and today you're going to work on one ship. It can either be a sloop, a brigantine, a frigate, or a galleon. If you go back to the very beginning of the slides, you'll see uh, images of what they look like. The sloop should have one mast. The brigantine should have two. The frigate should have three or more, and the galleon should have even more masts and more cannons. Okay, so this is my representation of a cannon over here. All right, and I'm going to show you how to draw this. Some of you have talked about the fact that it's difficult to draw in Scratch a little bit because you don't have a mouse. So I'd highly recommend you use the line tool. So I'm going to draw using the line tools. Now this little drop-down box allows me to draw different shapes. I'd keep away from scribbling because watch what's going to happen. It's not going to look very nice. Okay. If you want nice clean lines, and we do for schematics, you want to use solid shapes like triangles here, rectangles, and lines and circles. It makes it much easier and much neater and much faster too. The other thing we're going to be using occasionally is insert shape, and then we're going to go to shapes. We'll be using some of these shapes too. You can see, for example, I use a triangle right here and here. Okay, so let's first draw the hull, which is the bottom of the ship, and I'm going to use a line to do that. So once again, you're only doing one today. You're only going to worry about getting one done today, but I'm going to show you how I can draw something similar to this, maybe not the exact same boat, over here. Okay. All right, so I draw one straight line. Notice it's still highlighted, and I come over here and I'm going to drop it. I'm going to increase the thickness of it to like 3. Okay. Then I'm going to click on that line tool again. All right. And you notice on these tall ships, typically the decks are not exactly flat. Okay. So we don't want to draw something that looks, you want to draw something that looks kind of realistic. So maybe this one will have 2 raised decks. Okay. And that's fine too. So it's going to come down here. Just keep clicking that line tool. And I'm going to bring it out further so that I can connect that there. And it's like that. So this is a little bit different than this one. I'm also going to add another raised level. Maybe it's where the captain stays. You get to decide. It's your boat. Okay. So I'm going to hit this again. And it's going to be like that. Okay, so the crosshair's down. Okay, so there's the basic outline of my boat. The next thing I'm going to draw is a mast. Now this time I'm going to do a brigantine, which has 2 masts. Okay, notice I did a sloop before, so I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make sure that I know what it is. It's a brigantine. Okay. So it's a brigantine. Once again, my name should be up here. And so I need 2 masts. Now the easiest way to do a mast, honestly, is to do the line tool again. Come straight down. And then it needs to be a little bit thicker. So I would probably go with something like an 8, maybe somewhere in there. Well, that'd be a little bit too thick for this one. Let's go with 4. Okay. So it's got one there. Now I'm going to show you a trick here. Okay. So that I have masts that are exactly the same size. I'm going to hit Control C, and then I'm going to hit Control V. And what that does is it copies and pastes the exact same thing next to it. And I'm going to drag it over there. So I'm going to spread them out. Okay. And then if you notice, a brigantine does have square sails. It has those square sails. It doesn't have the triangular sails that the sloop does. So I need to use the triangle tool. So I'm going to hit Insert. I'm going to go to Shape. And I'm going to put in a rectangle. Okay. And once again, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to hit Control C and hit Control V and put another one right over it. Okay. So now, honestly, they're probably going to be a little bit different in size. Okay. Not going to be exactly the same size. Now, obviously, we can't do perspective in this very well. Let me see if there's any other shape just for kicks. I haven't really looked ahead of time. That would be better to give the illusion that it's being pulled back. Let me just try this shape just for kicks. Let me see if this looks better. Maybe it gives the illusion of it kind of being, yeah, that looks better than the regular square. So it's got a curved edge there. So Insert, Shape, and I'm going to go with this one right here. this one a little bit larger. Cool. So it gives the illusion that it's, you know, a little bit more curved. Okay, so now let's say I need to draw some portholes. Okay, so I'm going to go Insert, Shape, and I'm going to go Shape. I'm going to pick a circle this time. Okay. So I want my portholes, let's say, to be all the same size. So I select one, I hit Control C and Control V. Control V again. Okay, and I can just keep doing this. Maybe I'll put a couple here, you know, kind of bunch them like that. A little different. Okay, let's move this one down just a little bit, bunch them together, kind of. Oops, a little bit too much. Okay. Now, the other thing that some of you may want to do is draw some cannons. So I drew a cannon back here, and it's just a rough shape of one. Okay, so it gives you an idea. Now, this is going to be a brigandine. It should have more cannons than this guy, right? So maybe I'll add about 5 or 6. I don't know. Maybe I'll add 2 just to show you how to do it. So I'll show you how to do it. Insert, Shape. And the shape that I'm using for the cannon is this guy right here. So I'm going to draw it up here, the tube part. Okay. All right. And so that looks about right. It's going to be facing this way. And then I'm going to hit a shape. And then the shape that I'm going to choose for the bottom part is actually this guy right here. I can choose other ones, whatever you want. It's fine with me. This one might look nice, actually. Let me grab this one. Now, the problem is that this is facing the wrong way, and it's going to be a little bit too big, but I'll fix that. So I'm going to grab that little arrow, this little thing right here. Lets me rotate it until I get to the angle that I want. Okay. And I put it over it. Looks kind of like a cannon. Now, the next thing you want to do is, so this becomes a cannon, just not 2 shapes, is draw a box around it. Notice what I did. I started way up here. Whoops, didn't mean to grab that. Draw a box around this. And then on one of these little squares, when you get that arrow, right click, and you want to hit Group. Now this is one object, okay? So let's make a few cannons. So I'm going to hit Control C and then Control V. Remember, that's copy and paste. And I'll do another one too. All right, and so I'm going to put one on the bow of my ship, another one up there. It gives you an idea. This is a heavily armed brigandine, okay? And maybe even one up here. All right. So the other thing you probably want to add is some rigging, okay, which is these little ropes that come down. So you want to come in here and, you know, add some rigging, you know, something like some little lines. And you want these lines to be the lightest it can be. So line tool and something down like that, maybe on an angle. And you want the thickness to be just 1 point, okay? Just gives it the illusion that there might be something actually holding it there instead of just the rod. Okay, so there's some elements of that. It's up to you. Okay, however you make your ship, it's going to be wonderful because it's coming from you, right? So we got some more rigging, just some different stuff coming down. You know, it gives it the illusion that it's just not freestanding there. You know, it's like this one definitely needs one over here too. It kind of bothers me. Okay. So that's about it. That's just how you make a ship. It's really easy. It's not difficult. Okay. You can add more intricate things to it. So maybe I want to put a door on this or whatever. I can do that. Insert, shape, and then whatever, you know, and maybe I do need to draw something on here. I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do it. So the big thing is that you make sure that your ship follows the rules. So for example, right now my brigandine has 2 masts because over here there's 2 masts on the brigandine. Over here, there's 1 mast on the sloop because there's 1 mast on the sloop. Also uses triangular sails. The brigandine and larger ships all have squarish sails, okay? Square rigging is what they call it. And of course, it has more cannons. So I only put 1 cannon on my sloop. But maybe on this one I have 4. And if I decide to do a galleon, maybe I need like 20 or 30. It's up to you. You decide how you want to make it look. Okay. So for today, all you are is doing one of them, ship 1. And then the next time we meet, we'll do ship 2. Okay. All right. Very good. Nice job, guys.